Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now, mainly last, we were discussing about employer review template. Go and search for configure employer review template. Employer review status, employer review template, eligibility, go for configure employer review. Take this one. Yes. Take it. In the last session, we were mainly discussing about all this. Configure text. Scroll down. I think I'll help text. All this. Just scroll down. No more today we are going to look into this. Sections. We are discussing about sections in the last session. This again, if you see employer review started, there are 38334. We will not be able to do anything. Can you click on configure section? For goals. Which one? For goals values. Anyone. See, as I briefed, normally what happens is, if in case the review template that we are talking about, if in case that is used, we cannot make any changes in the configure section part. Now cancel and let's open some other template which is not yet used. If that is not the scenario, I will open from my side. No, go back. No, not from there. In the back, all review templates we had. From there, go back. This one. No. Click on search for configure review. Template once again, no. Remove that first employee review remove in the bottom. Bottom on a configure review. Yep, this one, click on employee review templates. All active templates. Open one thing, click on active. Go to performance review. Go to 90 year, new check in, open that. Open this in a new tab. Let's see whether that has been used or not. This is again used. Remember one thing here, you are getting option configure employer review template. The first one, configure employer help text. Configure employer review template will allow you to make any changes in the template. Details that you can see, for example, review type name description applies to period start date. And the first bracket that you see, configure help text. If you will click on that in the last session, I've shown you for different within whatever sections you have within the template, you can make changes to that. You can click over there and you can check. Nothing for now, but this is again, we saw in the last session, employee evaluations and all the other items. Mean where mainly we can have the help text. All normally remember every time. One thing, whenever you mention the help text, go back and always check after testing whether you are getting the content at the place or not. Normally what will happen is, if you do it for a few times, you will be aware. In starting, you might have some confusion. That is the reason why I said in the last session, it's better whenever you get a time, create your own template and try to practice in Sandbox. Don't practice in preview because whatever you create, it will be there until there is a refresh. I did. If in case, at the later stage, if your manager says, we want to do this configuration in preview, it might create a confusion for you. It's better to avoid those scenarios. All the testing, whatever I'm creating from scratch, should be in Sandbox only, not in preview. It's better to have that in Scratch in Sandbox only. Scroll down. If you can see in the template section configuration, they have set up questions. Can you click on the related action beside the magnifying glass? Magnifying glass is there. Oh sorry, yep, now this is. I can see this has been used. You will not be able to make any changes. Click on that new tab or just click on this one. You can open that new tab, always open anything in new tab. That you have a previous page as a reference. If you can see here the view template section. Normally this is the list of questions and everything that they have set up. Normally, within that they have included 3 questions, 90 days. Let's do one thing. We want to create a new one. This is how I have copied. Now, you can see there is only one section which is nothing but performance factors. We can configure that section. Normally, you can see this has not been used. I have an option to make changes within this. Talking about label, whatever name it is, Configuration Review 2024. If you want to override the label and want to use anything, the same name will pop up. If, in case, you want to override and you want to have some other name, it's up to us. Talking about section comments, talking about this section, performance factor. If you want to show the section and have the comments, if, in case, you do not use this checkbox. Not mandatory to have comment or add comment to anyone, whether it's the employee or manager. That will be one comment on the bottom for all the questions. Yes, similarly talking about employee view option, whether you want to give the access to employee to only view and modify view only on completed reviews. Normally what will happen is there will be a lot of changes that will keep on coming during the entire cycle. For example, initially you might have used the default function. Let's take an example, only view access. Later on the client will say in this screen, they will send you a snapshot and they will say, we want this to be modifiable as. You have to remember, you might not remember exactly where you have to go. In that scenario, what you will do is you will remember what sections you have configured in your to's goal. Values questions. Remember that in which section the issue was. Go to your template, go to your employee review template and go to that specific section and review that section. Get it easily. There might be, normally what we do, you do a trial and error method. You can do that, that is something, but normally it is pretty much simple and straightforward one which you can get things done similarly. Talking about this comment section that I'm including, if in case I want it only mandatory for the employee or manager, this is where you can select. If in case requirements, it will become mandatory. If you will not enter any comment, it will give you an error. That's the meaning of required section comments for. This is for each section or each question. Yes, normally we talk about. About this performance template that we are talking about, they have only one section named as performance factors. Whatever is going to happen, it is with respect to that only. Similarly, ratings and comments, normally in some of the sections you observe, there will be rating option as available. This is something that we are looking into. This is for the entire section. If in case within these questions this is related to the questions, if in case I have multiple questions, or in case additional ratings options that I want to include. Items rated, if you click on this checkbox, require item rating. Here you have to define the rating scale. Here it will ask you about who can, mainly who are supposed to give the ratings. Section rating. Rating with override as rating with no overrides prompt for rating. Ratings with override meaning is whatever rating is being done, whether that can be overridden or not. For example, if in case employee is giving some rating, whether the manager can override or the ratings what the employee have given self-evaluation. That can be override or not. Managers can override that. Whether it's not mandatory, whether let's take an example, employee has given the rating and whether manager can override. If a manager has given rating, whether employee can override or not. Talking about rating with no override means whatever is done, you cannot make any changes. Prompt for rating. Normally, prompt for rating is something which commonly we use. Reason being, we want a section which will prompt where you can give the ratings. Manager can give, after that the employee can give. Normally what we can do is, I can make it mandatory for the employee. Normally in this scenario, what will happen is employee is going to give the rating. So it requires section rating for we can define here. If in case normally, what happens is if in case normally, when you have gone through the entire cycle, normally we have seen for every question there has been a section wherein we have to answer. Normally that is nothing but the comment. If in case for every section I want to have rating, that is another scenario. Overall section that we are talking about. This is the entire section that we are briefing about. It's with respect to that. That's how normally we make changes here. Normally you might see here items weighted. If it's I want to put up some weightage, normally we use the weightage. Let's take an example. I have 4 items. I want to calculate the average of all the 4. But talking about from my experience and talking about from most of the clients, they do not use the item weighted because they want to have an overall rating. For everyone, it has a separate rating. After that, it's going to average out. Normally, they do not use that. In that scenario, you can ignore this. In case they are going to use, you can use the weighting must total 100. Within this, what is going to happen is 20, 20, 20, 20 that. If in case there are 5 sections, rating of the weighting, they are weighing that each section. Basically, based on that, the ratings will be calculated. Similarly, one of the main or basic thing that will come up with you during the entire process is talking about this comment section that you see, the rating section that you see. This is something which is important or mandatory ones that will come into picture. Any questions, any doubt? No, I think this is clear. There is nothing much in this. Main thing is you have to practice. Click on the related actions on the step C, magnifying glass. Beside that, yep, related actions, business process. Maintain step label, override. Normally now that is going complete management. Click over here and write something else, whatever you wish to. Just type anything for now. Level spelling is wrong. Talking about these names and all, you have to ask them. They will let some good names. That's fine. This is just for testing purposes that we are doing. You can remove it later on. Do one thing, search again for start performance review BP colon. I saw there was some other business process as which was there in action. Wait a second. That is external load. It's fine. Do one thing. What is external load? I saw many times this shows external load. What is this? Yes, something if in case I do not want to do the performance review through the process. That we are doing. I want to load it for all the employees through EIB directly into the system. In that scenario, we use this. Do a performance review for yourself now. To start performance review, remove the default definition. Before that, do one thing, search for do start performance review once. First one. Search for yourself. How I can do it for myself. I'm already. You don't have the access. Go to your manager then. To proxy the manager, normally we can do this if in case we have the access for these. We should get our job done. What is this period start and end date? For which period I am doing the evaluation? Yes. Mention anything today for today till next week. Amy, we are going to delete this. So here objective is there. First we need to set the objectives. No need to add. No need to add the objectives. We are testing, I don't want to check anything now. Go back to values. Just do whatever is mandatory. The answers are mandatory. Objective is mandatory. No, obviously not mandatory. Just click on type the text as test. Why it's only coming values, no other things. Any values, there are 4 other parameters. Values goals. This is some other review that I have opened, not the one that you have looked into. Click on next. It's not required, only rating is required. Next, submit. Scroll down. No proxies here, manager. Click on view details. In place of manager evaluation, something else. This manager evaluation is once the manager does the evaluation, it goes to manager's manager approval. That is the issue. That's the one. Go to the related action of start performance review in the first column process. Open this related actions. It's fun. Process related actions are in same place. Just click one time business. Process view. Definition heard from the bottom. I have changed scroll down complete manager evaluation, second level manager. Evaluation specifies second level manager evaluation, start performance review. Not showing as an override, no step level do work, and that's what it does. Go back to the previous tab, view and go review. Search for waiting action complete manager evaluation. Do one thing, click on this complete manager evaluation for performance review. 3 dots. You hear this one. Business process view definition in the tag or new tag. New tab. Sorry, no problem. 1 second. The initiation step is there. This is group managers, manager, this one. Do one thing. That managers. Can you open this one and we can rename this one now? No, but renaming, that is not renaming, that will get our job done. But that is something which we cannot. That's the basic. This is again Vogue, the delivered security group. You cannot rename it. Oh! Go back to previous stamp. Ramping and making the same thing. Make unrelated actions of the step. Beside design. Business process. Wait a second. Click on Maintain step-related worklets. Click on Maintenance. Step-related worklets. Click on Cancel. But you need to make changes to managers. Manager 1 not to the manager. One, not the manager. One managers 1. Can you see the business process for this? Again and see where is the step is. That you started, come out of proxy first. I'm just trying to see that step. Where is that step? It says, but here, it doesn't say the next step. In the business process, when the performance evaluation starts, it goes to the employee itself. Next go to manager, but where is manager step here, managers step. Why? I have briefly in the previous season, there is a complete managers. Click on one thing, click on allowed actions by role. Can you see all the steps complete manager evaluation? This is again a separate business process. There are 2 separate business processes. Complete manager evaluation for performance review. Open this in a new tab. Second row, business for performance. With respect to that, no. Come to the business process column. 4th column. Business process. 4th on this one and open that in a new tab. Get additional manager evaluation. That this one complete manager evaluation you can see that. The second one complete the side. First one. Open that in a new tab. Manager approval. Do one thing. Go to a related action of the business process. From the first, not from. Go to business process. One sec. Notification configure orchestration. Click on Configure Orchestration, the second option that you can see. Do one thing, click Cancel. Go to the previous business process. Go to the previous tab here. Click on Notifications. We can create a notification here, which will notify the manager with whatever name I give. Because in the inbox only, we need to change that in the inbox section. When it comes to inbox, it says manager evaluation. Second level should say notification, which will go to the bell icon. Aaron cannot make it. The notification. Notification is just about notifying. Talking about inbox items means there is something that is to be done by you. That's the thing. When it comes to manager, it shows that I got it done mainly. It could have worked that way, but it didn't work. I will do one thing. I will get this check and I will get to know exactly whether this is feasible or not on Tuesday when we will be connected. Let's finish. Finish this and see where it started, and then it doesn't have to go through that. It's not mandatory to answer that. Maybe the overall performance. They will have a rating here, also manager overall performance. Question, overall strand questions, overall area of opportunity and all. And then rating is not mandatory here. Yes, go to review and submit is submitted. Review and submit. Submit no comments. Comments not required. Submit when I submit this. Then it says up next, Carol. Approval by managers talking about here, not the one. Feasibility is we can set up. Notification which will be triggered. Go to the related actions and proxy. I will let about this, whether it's feasible or not. I don't think that it is feasible, but I will just get it confirmed and I will let. And then it goes back to the manager for conduct review. But I am not understanding when this is one business process. Start performance review. Should be this step should be included there, or it can be a sub process. Which one? The studio. The manager's manager evaluation is not showing in the start performance review. Business process. It should be part of that. See that business process has a sub process. In that you had a manager evaluation. Go to the business process. No. Click on start performance review. Stop process for this person first. Complete manager evaluation is a sub-business process. Sub-business process means this step is already has its own business process. If, in case within that, you want to set it up anything, you will go and create within that business process. Go back to notification. Go back to allowed actions by role. If you go to complete manager evaluation section, there is a business process separately. That is something which you can check from here. If you will open that in a new tab, the first one. Normally here you will find it. Can you see the to-do approval manager? This is how, from where it is being triggered. Normally what it is you had something. Within you, I had something. Within me, I had something. That is how the process. That has been sub. If you go to the allowed process, sub-process 4, click on the allowed sub-process 4. You can see this is the sub-process of which BP. It's a sub-process of performance review. That is the reason why you are not seeing it in the first business process. Whereas within that there was a sub-process wherein the remaining steps were configured. But there should be a way to override this. Because if in case you have your own process, I have my own process, if you have included within me or within yourself, you cannot make any changes to my process. If in case I have something, you have an option that you can remove these two items. You can remove these two items and you can include everything in the start performance review itself. Next step is it yes. Instead of sub-process, you can do a next step there, yes. But we had a sub-process. That is the reason why they have created it within that. Or else I would have created this to do and this to do. You can remove it from here. You can create this in the Start Performance Review tool work in the same way in which it is working now. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.